Developing story at this hour. The tension is peaking in Kulgam district of Jammu and Kashmir after the National Conference Party as well as the PDP workers clashed with each other. The incident took place during the filing of nominations before the upcoming assembly elections in the state. The police had to resort to force to control the clashes. Our correspondent Shuja Al-Haq now joins me live from the valley. Shuja, this clearly is a pre-poll clash. Give us more details on this.
No, that's right, and this clearly also gives you an idea of how these two political parties, have their rivalries so grounded that even during the time of filing of nominations, that their supporters had to clash with each other and create a ruckus. In fact, reports also coming that they tried to vandalize the deputy commissioner's office where they were there, where the leaders were trying to file their nominations. This incident took place in the Kulgam area, where the leaders of the candidates of two parties had gone for filing nomination, and some altercation happened between the workers of the two parties, and then there was free-for-all situation. The police had to actually resort to lathi charge and had to lob tear gas shells to disperse of these political workers from the compound of the deputy commissioner, who is also acting as the district electoral officer. This is, Vedika, this only gives you the idea of how the political atmosphere is heating up just ahead of the elections in Jammu and Kashmir, particularly in Kashmir Valley, which is anyway a very sensitive place in terms of conducting of elections. And now these incidents only go on to add the burden on the security agencies to ensure that there isn't any untoward incident during or towards the run-up for the polls.
Shuja, also have we heard from any of the heads of the two parties on this?
Well, so far both the political parties haven't clearly come out on this incident, but yes, there are voices of condemnation who are already coming out, and most people criticizing, saying that if this is how the political parties, particularly these two political parties who are, who have a lot of ground base inside Kashmir Valley, are behaving, then what exactly is the kind of signal that they are sending to others who probably are lesser players, are lesser known political activists.
Shuja, do stay with me. We have more news coming out from the valley, which is also, of course, one of our top stories. Well, 4 years after 3 youths were killed in a fake encounter in Jammu and Kashmir's Machal area, 7 army men have been awarded life imprisonment. Those convicted include 2 officers, one a colonel and the other is a captain. 5 soldiers have also been sentenced to life imprisonment. All service benefits of those sentences have been suspended. The General Court-Martial proceedings began in January and ended in September. All 7 were found guilty of killing civilians, hatching a conspiracy and later branding them as dead Pakistani militants. As per the findings, 3 youths from Nadihal village of North Kashmir were lured to Kallurus in Kupwara district with the promise of jobs and money. The 3 were killed in a staged encounter by troops near the line of control and dubbed as Pakistani militants attempting to infiltrate.
हम बहुत खुश हुआ है कि सवेरे हमने सुना है कि 7 फौजी बंदूक को उम्र कैद हुआ है। हम तब तक खुश नहीं होगा जब तक मैं इनको फांसी होगा इनको कि सारी दुनिया खुश होगी, ताकि दोबारा ऐसा बंदे नहीं उठेगा। बस हम खुश है अभी कि इनको 7 बंदूक को उम्र कैद हुआ है। उम्र कैद क्या, इनको फांसी होना चाहिए। बस हमारे साथ आज तक कोई इंसाफ नहीं हुआ।
Also, word coming in from the Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah. He has hailed the sentencing of the 7 army men by the General Court-Martial, terming the judgment a watershed moment for the state. Omar tweeted that people of the state had not expected justice in the case. Omar said there is no faith in the government institutions and hoped that the sentencing would serve as a warning to those tempted to try such encounters. Again, Shuja still with us from the valley. Shuja, while this is a vindication as far as the families of the deceased are concerned, this has also shortened the arm for Omar Abdullah and his stand on AFSPA.
Well, yes, absolutely, and look at this case. It is absolutely shocking in itself. Here is an example of how 3 youngsters were lured to the line of control in forest area and then killed in cold blood and labelled as foreign terrorists who were trying to sneak in. This incident, though the army has taken a strict note of it and has come down very heavily on its own men, which includes 2 officers as well. But it is one of the rare incidents where the Court of Inquiry has reached to this level, and this, apart from everything else, has given a lot of hope to a lot lot of people whose cases are still pending either in the civilian courts or there have been some inquiries started either from one agency of the security forces or the other. But having said that, like you just were mentioning, the kind of voices that are coming out welcoming this kind of decision, or also there are some people who are probably saying that this strengthens the argument of the Chief Minister Omar Abdullah and his party over the issue of Armed Forces Special Powers Act, and how there is misuse of certain acts of impunity towards the security forces, while security forces on the ground clearly have a very difficult task to complete. But at the same time, there are aberrations like these, and every time something like this happens, unless there is justice that is delivered, the closure to the families eludes.
Shuja, also setback and an embarrassment for the army, especially in the valley where their reputation is extremely fragile.
Absolutely, it is the incidents like these which completely negate everything else that is being done by either the security forces or the army. We have, as I was pointing out earlier, we have several cases of alleged human rights violations against the security forces and army as well. Something like this happening and the army coming out with a court of inquiry and making sure that it reaches to the conclusion is probably the only way that the army can honestly say that here is how we are, though we are doing our job to the best, but at the same time, if there are mistakes, we do take care of that as well.
All right, Shuja, thanks for joining us live from the valley. We'll keep coming back to you for more, for all the developments on the stories from Jammu and Kashmir. Meanwhile, there is some breaking news coming in.